Liverpool have finally made their move for Alexander Isak. Tell us more about it, Jules.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. We expected a first offer to come. We knew more or less how much money Newcastle were after for Alexander Isak, around 150 million euros, which is a lot of money. We've said it many times with Stevie on the show. Liverpool went a little bit lower than that, around 130 million euros, which is already a lot of money when you think that it's twice the price that Newcastle paid for him 3 years ago. So that's a lot of money, regardless of how great Alexander Isak has been the last few seasons. And we expect Liverpool to go again now that that first bid was rejected.
We've not had you here, Craig. How do you think Liverpool would look with Alexander Isak in the fold?
Well, I think Liverpool are already looking pretty good. I mean, they've made some big statements already with the signings. Ekitike, Frimpong, Kirkes, Florian Wirtz's been one of the standout signings from Germany. And when we thought the Ekitike deal was done, we thought, well, it's probably going to go away, Alexander Isak, and maybe Newcastle thought that was the case as well. But this, if Liverpool get it over the line, and obviously Newcastle at the moment are fighting it, what Alexander Isak is going to do remains to be seen, whether he's going to try and be aggressive and pushing it. I mean, we really don't hear of anybody putting transfer requests in these days. I mean, in the old days, that's how it used to work. You'd go in, you'd slap it on the table, and that would be it. Things get done more behind the scenes now with agents and negotiations, and some players go on strike and blah, blah, blah. But this is a huge statement this summer. This whole summer is a huge statement by Liverpool, who were the league champions last year, best team in England by far. This is saying, we're back in Arne Slot, we're not going away. We're not only going to try and dominate England, but we want to try and dominate Europe, like the team Stevie played in back in the day. And so this would be a huge statement if Liverpool got this over the line, because it's given them so many other options with the signings they've already made. So, yeah, I mean, it's aggressive, and obviously their spending falls within the PSR, so that should be fine. But it would be just a huge, huge statement. Of course, Newcastle fans, you know, they want him to stay, and it's, you know, if you're a Newcastle fan, you think it's the greatest place on earth because it's a great club, and they have a great atmosphere, and all that sort of stuff. But the allure of, you know, going to the Liverpools and, you know, the Barcelonas and Real Madrids and all these clubs that have won things for many a year, that's a lot for any player. You can't feel bad for a player if he says, like, I've been great here, this is a great club, but I really want to go somewhere that's not challenging for the Carabao Cup and winning it like Newcastle did, but going and being at the top of the tree, where, if we're being honest, it's unlikely Newcastle are really going to get in amongst that.
See, I agree with everything you've just said, right?
You don't want them?
I'm not saying I don't want them. And I think there's no question they are making a statement and a half.
Correct.
And this is a club, and the board and all the backroom staff, I don't remember the last time they made a mistake. They seem to be getting every single thing right, so every single time. But
where are we then with this?
So here's my question.
You want something more than this.
Well, here's my question.
You want a better version of an Isak?
No. My question is, are you spending? They want 150. Jules is saying they've offered 130. When you look at around the team, and you've got 130 million available, and you're going to spend it on something that the guy's brilliant, he scores goals. I mean, every team would love him in the starting lineup, but do Liverpool really need him now?
You got
after getting Ekitike.
Well, you got two right backs. You got three left backs, as far as I'm aware.
Look at
two left backs. You've got. Where do you want?
You know the hole. You know the hole I'm talking about here, next to Van Dijk. Kanate is.
But he was very good last year.
He was, but we don't have anybody else. If something happens to Van Dijk or Kanate, Gravenberg's playing centre back, right. or somebody's going to have to fill in. That's my thing. I have no problem having Isak, but if you're going to spend a record amount, surely you should be doing it on something that you really need. But surely you've got a big hole at the back.
I know the two new lads have gone in, the recruitment, Edwards and Hughes. But surely this is coming from Arne Slot. I mean, they do the recruiting and the negotiations and all that sort of stuff. But you talk, I mean, they are talking. This is not like some clubs where they're off doing their own thing and the manager's sitting, kicking the door because he's not getting what he wants. There's clear discussion here, and I'm.
Should he not be asking the question I'm asking you, though? Should he not be saying, right, listen, I can use Isak, don't worry about that. I can get this guy scoring goals. But you know what? If we get an injury at the back, we're scuppered.
Yeah. But
is that not the question he should be asking?
Well, that's my point. I would imagine that has been a long, drawn-out conversation. And then they have said, look, if he really felt that he was struggling in that department and he was superly worried about it, they would spend the money, or some of the money in that position. So they've clearly had a discussion, and if 150 million is the last bit of gold in the pot, then they seem to me that they're going to use it on Isak, which tells me he hasn't got a concern at the other end.